Step into the golden age of Hollywood with us today as we shine a light on Beechmont Players' upcoming production of Moonlight and Magnolias. It's a hilarious and dramatic play that kicks off their exciting 2024-2025 season, which features an all-female directing team. And joining us now for a little behind-the-scenes look into the production is Laura Berkmeyer and Ron Mason. Guys, thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you for having us.
So, all right, let's talk a little bit about the show, Moonlight and Magnolias. And what is this about?
I'm going to let Ron give that explanation.
So it's set in 1939, and it follows the behind-the-scenes story of David O. Selznick, who's the producer, and he is 5 days into filming Gone with the Wind, and then realizes he absolutely hates the story. So he throws out the screenplay, fires his director and his screenplay writer. He hires two new gentlemen, and now they've got 5 days to come up with a new screenplay. So he locks the door, and for the next 5 days, they live on a diet of bananas and peanuts, and it's just hilarity from start to finish. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, being able to see like the behind-the-scenes action here. What sort of inspired making Moonlight and Magnolias the opening production for the season?
So I've been doing productions at Beechmont Players for quite a long time now, and this is my first time back since pre-pandemic, so I'm really excited to get back into the director's chair. And this is a show that I've been wanting to do for a long time. First time I read it, it's probably the first show I ever read that made me literally laugh out loud while I was sitting there. So I knew I wanted to do it, and when I reconnected with Beechmont Players, they were really interested in this show as being something that appealed to the masses. Gone with the Wind, of course, we know is one of the most popular movies of all time. So we're hoping to get some people into the theater and get them excited with this first production, and then get them coming back for the rest of the season, too.
Oh, that sounds awesome. All right, so are there any special moments or scenes in this show that you really think people are going to enjoy and that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I think there's a moment in the show, it's kind of small, we were talking about this before, where if you're not really paying too close attention, you might miss it. But there's a line in the show where the producer talks about how the movies are where everyone wants to be. And it's really the only place you can go where after you die, your legacy is going to live on forever. And so it's at that point where it's the rallying cry for these guys who've been through a lot over the last 5 days to finally say, okay, we can do this. Let's push through.
Oh, I love that. So, yeah.
I was just going to say, as a lover of movies, that is my chosen escape, is to watch movies when I need to relax, when I want to just sit and be alone with my thoughts. And so thinking about movies being that effective in our lives and memorable, you know, 1939 seems like so long ago, but this movie is still very relevant today.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. So what would you say has been the most rewarding part of working on this production then? For
me, coming back to Beechmont for the first time in a long time has been very rewarding. But honestly, I'm going to say working with this guy right here, because we've known each other a long time. It almost feels like a Thomas More reunion. That's where we met, at Thomas More College at the time. Of course, it's Thomas More University now.
Yeah.
And our producer, Dan Cohen, is also a graduate. And having studied theater there, Ron and I were able to be on stage in some of the very first productions I was ever a part of. And so getting to reconnect and be able to direct him for the first time, and I'm telling you, this guy is fantastic. I'm no joke. He came in off book pretty much day one. He knew every line. He's hilarious. He's great to work with. So yeah, I'm really excited to be able to be working with Ron.
Wow, couldn't ask for better praise from a director like that. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Well, for folks who might be unfamiliar then, I mean, talk a little bit about Beechmont Players.
Beechmont Players was established in 1959, so it's been around for a long time, and it's been in different pockets of the community, but right now the home is the Anderson Center in Anderson, and it's a group of great people. We're all professionals, you know, in our day-to-day lives, and we choose to do community theater as something that brings us passion. Nobody is a professional. We're not getting paid. You know, we do this because we love it, and we get to meet interesting folks. We get to bring some fun and levity to people's lives. So there are community theaters in really every region in greater Cincinnati, including northern Kentucky. If you're in Anderson, Beechmont Players is probably going to be the easiest for you to get to, but there's so many options, and any given weekend there's probably a production that you could go and check out.
Well, and obviously people want to come and check out the performances, but what advice would you give maybe if somebody is watching right now, they're an aspiring actor or director and they want to get involved with local theater?
Absolutely, great question. So I would say go see a show. Because there's, like Laura said, there's a plethora of opportunities to go check out a show, and there's Facebook pages, there are Instagrams, there's community theater websites that you can check out, and just get involved. Just audition as much as possible, and yeah,
That sounds good. All right, so we want to make sure people watching come out and watch your show. How can
Yes.
people get tickets and more information?
So you can get tickets and more information at beechmontplayers.org.
Okay.
So tickets are on sale now. We open on Friday next week. We have 2 weekends,
yeah.
so make sure you fit it in because it'll be gone before you know it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Laura and Ron, thanks so much for joining us. Moonlight and Magnolias. We're looking forward to the production and break a leg.
Thank
you so much. Appreciate it.